Kick back and relax with Mark and Carol as they describe Beverly Hills 90210. So as you can see, this is a brand new thing, but also sort of an old thing. Carol and I have decided to spin off the 90210 series and do its own series itself, which will come out every Monday, as you can see. We don't have openings for this because these were originally part of the original episodes that we did of Massive Late Fee. So this is a brand new opening, welcoming you to the show. Enjoy this episode of 90210. Speaking of unique, let's talk about a very unique television show, 90210.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty intense, sad episode this week.
It was.
It was all about Kelly and her mom. And you know how we've talked about how Kelly's mom seems a little off.
Yeah.
And now
they're calling it 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like, you know.
she's like, tell your friends not to call in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now we know why, because she is an alcoholic drug addict.
Yeah, she likes the Coke.
Well, she likes the alcohol and the Coke.
Yeah, they go great together, I gotta say.
Gotta wake up in the morning after those benders.
That's that John Belushi health plan that she's on.
But there was a mother-daughter, and this whole thing was weird too. This mother-daughter fashion show at the school, right?
Yeah, it's a fundraiser for the school.
Yeah, and Kelly,
all the local merchants donate dresses for the girls to wear at the mother-daughter fashion show.
And Kelly's mom is facilitating this thing.
Yes, she's the chairperson of whatever
of the event. Yeah.
Yeah,
and apparently she thought that things were going so great with this guy and they're going to get married, and then he broke up with her.
Yeah, Don, I believe his name was. Never trust somebody named Don.
So she just went off and got drunk and started acting crazy. And poor Kelly, tried to talk to her mom, and her mom was a total psycho bitch. And you know, Brenda's all like, oh, your life's perfect and you have no problems, because she doesn't know. So,
yeah. Well, no one knows because Kelly keeps it all bottled up inside.
Yeah, which is something that Andrea pointed out towards the end of the episode about how together she always seems.
Yeah.
So. And her mom actually goes to this frickin' thing after doing some coke to get herself out of bed in the morning.
Oh yeah, and she apparently she's had this problem before. She went to the Timbers, you know, the famous Timbers or Timberwoods or
are they famous?
Whatever they call it. No, I think they made it up for the show. But some rehab place, obviously, that rich people can afford, which is like a spa, but you don't get drugs. Well, if you don't get drugs at the spa, you're going to the wrong spa.
What kind of spa are you going to?
It's the one at the Cass Corridor. No, but anyway, so yeah, she's been there before, and I guess she has some sort of deal with Kelly's dad, her ex-husband, that he'll pay alimony to her as long as she's not using drugs. And Kelly mentions that, and then she takes it as a threat.
Right.
But yeah, so Brenda's in love with her, and she does some coke and then decides, okay, I'm good now to go do this event.
Yeah, so they're all there, and Andrea is doing it with Brenda and her mom because her own mom can't do it because she doesn't live in the city. The whole thing doesn't make a lot of sense, like why her not living there means that her mom can't be part of it. But
her excuse was that it's one thing for her to lie about where she lives, but it's another thing for her mother to lie about where she lives. So I guess she didn't want her mom to have to actively lie. Although it's not like, you know, at the fashion show, they were like, and now Andrea and her mom, and they live, you know, at this address because we found out, you know. It's just,
it was silly, but she does the fashion show with Brenda and her mom, and she actually looks really pretty.
She does. It's one of the first times that she actually almost looks under 40 years old.
And then, of course, you know, then they're doing the whole Brendan's looking at her like finally seeing
His
her
name
for
is
the
still Brandon. But yes.
finally seeing her for the first time. Like her dad, I think his dad said something like that she looked pretty, and he's like, "Yeah, she does." Or
He said that's the girl that was at the house
oh
the other
yeah,
night? Yeah.
yeah,
And Brandon said, "I'm not sure." She didn't look that different, guys.
right. I mean, she took off her glasses,
For a second.
which it seems dangerous when walking down a runway. But
Well, she put them back on.
whatever. And then Kelly's mom loses her place in the cards and then just starts like calling them to come back out after they've already gone out. It's just like this total nightmare, and everybody's just staring at her.
Well, she also goes on a rant about being older and you're used up when you're 20 years old in this town, and why are women given such a hard time and men aren't. And it's so funny because the talk in the background is all like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with it?" You know, like they're all whispering about her and everything because she's having this breakdown. But she raises some interesting points.
Yeah.
About the way women are viewed. When was the last time that you saw a woman that was 40 years old or over cast in the lead role in a movie? Where she was like the romantic lead in a film.
Yeah,
But
don't
it
know.
happens with dudes all the time. How long was Cary Grant the romantic lead? Cary Grant was, wooing 25-year-old starlets on screen when he was like 60.
Right.
So, it is, she's bringing up some good points.
Although Cary Grant is definitely the exception to the rule. I mean, because he just oozes charm.
Yeah, a lot of them do. But so there's no older women that ooze charm? You don't think Audrey Hepburn, when she was 45 years old, still oozed charm?
It's different. I don't know how to explain it, but like for some reason, when guys age, a lot of times they like get more distinguished and seem even better looking and more charming, whereas women just it doesn't work that way.
I think that is a perception in society. I don't think it's necessarily true.
I don't know. I mean, whether it's... I don't think there is a necessarily true, because it's coming down to something very subjective to what people are attracted to. I mean,
Somewhat
it can be fed by society, but it's not entirely society. It's also, primal instinct and...
Well, yeah, because when a woman is over 40 years old, she's not having kids anymore. And, guys still can. I mean, that's... if you
that makes sense.
If you want to talk about evolutionary reasons, that's part of it, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, there you go. Once women hit menopause, men don't find them as attractive because they realize they can't have babies.
Maybe on a subconscious level, I guess.
It makes sense.
All right. Anyway, so continue with 90210 until you hit menopause. Then you're gone.
So Kelly is so embarrassed, of course, about her mom, and this is when Brenda finally finds out what's going on. And, Kelly goes home with Brenda and her family, and, she's staying for dinner, and she wants to just stay there. She's like, I don't ever want to go home. I don't want to deal with her. Like, it sounds like Kelly has been through some serious crap with her mom.
Oh, yeah.
And her mom shows up at their house, and they actually have a huge fight, where mom storms out and says, you can stay here for dinner, but you're coming home tonight,
Yep.
But when she gets home, her mom is packing a bag, and everything that was said between them had actually made an impact, and she decided she's going back to Timberwolf Lodge or whatever it's called.
Yeah, she's going to be ripped apart by timberwolves out of shame in the woods. Yeah, that might be the most unbelievable part of the entire show.
Yeah, one argument, and she's just ready to change.
Yeah, she's like, oh, forget it. My kid doesn't like me anymore, so...
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And then David is there in the morning.
Oh, yeah. David Silver.
And I can't remember why.
Well, because he has a subplot through the entire episode where he wants to film Kelly for the yearbook, like a behind-the-scenes thing of this fashion show.
Right.
Including getting in the dressing room.
Oh,
he goes
yeah.
and he films in the dressing room when the women are in their bras and everything. Just one of the creepiest things ever.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't get punched.
Yeah, so that's why he's there returning the tape, because he's like, oh, I figured you'd want this because your mom's a psychopath, and
Basically,
you don't want people to see this.
So it was a nice moment between them, though. She gave him a kiss on the cheek, which, obviously made his year.
His testicles descended in that moment.
But, there wasn't a ton going on in the episode. It was all just about Kelly and her mom and this fashion show.
What about Brandon's subplot?
What about Brandon's subplot?
Well, why don't you explain that?
I don't remember it.
Because there was none.
Why'd you do that to me? I'm all like, what is wrong with me?
The only thing he did was convince Andrea to do the fashion thing.
Right.
That was pretty much it. And then him and his dad showed up to the fashion show and looked around, and they were like, oh, there's a lot of women around here, which it's a fashion show. And he's like, we better sit down before they realize we shouldn't be here. And I remember thinking, like, there's no dads in the audience. Like they're not there to support their wives and daughters. It was really weird and stupid.
Yeah. Not great.